Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. Today we have a lot to discuss. As always, it's been a crazy time in crypto within the last couple of days, so we want to discuss that and see what's really been happening behind the scenes, taking a look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency news today. If you have just joined, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. A little bit of a later stream today. I think we are preferring the early morning ones. I just got tied up with some stuff today. So we'll go back to early morning stream tomorrow. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin here though and see what is going on. Bitcoin, let's refresh this to get this exactly right. Bitcoin is currently trading at $34,054. It did momentarily go below that $34,000 level, but we are back above that for the time being. We are up a whole 17.9% within the last week, down slightly within the last 24 hours. But I am looking at these dips as opportunities to accumulate a little bit more. I have been accumulating throughout this whole period of time. And as always, you can never feel like you have enough. You can always want more when it comes to Bitcoin. I was accumulating throughout these levels, even throughout these levels down here. I'm still looking to fill up my bags because I still personally feel like for my own portfolio, $34,000 is not a level I will be selling at in the near future. I want to be selling at $100,000 instead. We will analyze the price at the end of today's stream. But let's quickly take a look at the chart. Lee says, I want DOT to dump to buy more. Let's take a look at the price of DOT quickly and see what's going on there. We've been analysing this one for a while here. Let's see where we are here on the chart. We've used a previous level of support as a support once again recently. Let's delete all of these lines though and start from the beginning. What you can see here is DOT loves a descending wedge, and you could see that from all of those lines that I've drawn on over the years that were on the chart there. Or a descending channel, depending on how you look at it. I would say that we can take these points here, drag this all the way out, and DOT is within this range right now. If we take a look at what's gone on in this chart, we've got a level of resistance at around $4.06. We've got a level of support around $3.50. As I've said many times here on the channel before, right now my portfolio is in Bitcoin for the majority of it. I am understanding why we're looking at these altcoins and saying, look, it's a perfect opportunity to buy the dip, and for some altcoins I think it is, but I like to chart my altcoins against Bitcoin. If you take a look at this, Bitcoin is consistently outperforming DOT right now. When this chart moves to the upside, DOT is outperforming Bitcoin, and when it moves to the downside, Bitcoin is outperforming DOT. So if you are holding on to Bitcoin, ready to transfer that into DOT, you haven't missed out on that opportunity. In fact, now is a better opportunity than it has been in the last 3 years. And these are the types of charts that I push people to be looking at. We can look at this for some other altcoins as well. Let's take a look at Solana, for example. This is the first time I'm checking all of these charts in a while. You can see Solana has actually been clinging on pretty nicely during some pumps. Solana is a token that I do not invest in. I do not intend to invest in, purely because of the amount of tokens that FTX hold. If FTX dump all of their tokens and we do see the rejuvenation of Solana, then maybe that is when I take a second look, but I think too much has happened for Solana right now, and I think some new tokens will come out within the next bull market that will surprise us all and get into the top 10 cryptocurrencies in terms of market cap, just like Solana did last bull market. Let's try BNB BTC and see what's going on with that token here. We can run through the top 10 tokens here. You can see since back at the start of 2021, Bitcoin has really been outperforming BNB since the November 2022, and we've seen a continuous move to the downside there. So as you can tell right now, Bitcoin is outperforming some of these major altcoins in the top 10. What else have we got here? We can have a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. We look at this pretty frequently here though, and you can see Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum. This is what we like to see. during this period of time, I was accumulating Bitcoin and transferring my Ethereum into Bitcoin because it was the time that I thought we are going to see some big moves for Bitcoin, and maybe it will take a little bit longer for the rest of the market to relax. Let's take a look here. Lee says, I wouldn't touch Sol or ADA, horrible coins. ADA is the first token I ever invested into, so it holds a special place in my heart either way. We can see here, again, Bitcoin has been outperforming Cardano massively. For those of you that have been accumulating Bitcoin during this period of bearish bear market, and you haven't bought any altcoins yet, looking at these charts should give you a little bit of a sigh of relief to make you realize that yes, maybe you aren't in the positions that you want to be in, but maybe you have been waiting for the perfect time. I've seen over and over again people on cryptocurrency Twitter and YouTube saying, look, this is the next 10x coin, this is the altcoin you need to invest into, this is the lowest this altcoin has been since 2020. Yes, it may be in terms of its dollar value, but if you've been buying Bitcoin since that $16,000 level, your portfolio is higher than if you take on more risk with these altcoins. So that is the perspective I take when I look at these different things. We also can take a look at the Bitcoin dominance here, and we can see that Bitcoin dominance is up massively. Let's go to Bitcoin Dom. Is it Bitcoin? Let's see if we can find it. What I want is Bitcoin dominance. There we go. Bitcoin dominance here. You can see this is high, very, very high. In fact, if we add an indicator of Bitcoin halvings, you can see how the price of Bitcoin, how Bitcoin takes the market share prior to a bull market. So let's pull this up onto the monthly chart here so you can see this very, very clearly. In fact, this chart goes back all the way to 2015. What you can see here is prior to the previous Bitcoin halving, we saw a huge surge in the Bitcoin dominance for the cryptocurrency market. So that means the majority, or a huge percentage, so in this case, 72% of the market cap of cryptocurrency was in Bitcoin. So you can see now Bitcoin holds 54% of the crypto market cap. We did see highs all the way back over at the start, but for the previous cycle, we saw highs at around 74%. This is continuing to rise right now, and we do have another Bitcoin halving coming very, very soon. So let's pull that up on the chart. April 2024 is when we expect the next Bitcoin halving to be. So if we follow a similar pattern here, we could expect Bitcoin to continue to outperform the majority of altcoins, not all of the altcoins, because we will have those altcoins that just do 100x, 200x. But if we follow the same pattern as last time, I personally, with my own portfolio, am following this pattern. We could expect to see Bitcoin continue to gain market dominance, continue to outperform plenty of other altcoins. Maybe, in fact, we will see it not reach the levels that it saw last time. Maybe then see a drop during that Bitcoin halving. That's pretty normal to see a drop at that Bitcoin halving. There's a lot of anticipation up to that date, and then typically we do see a slight fall, and then Bitcoin starts to rally a little bit more, and then it's when we start to diversify into those altcoins and those high cap coins, and that's when we really start to see the fall in Bitcoin dominance. When we have that fall in Bitcoin dominance, it's because people are moving on to high cap coins, and we end up in this cycle. So during this period of time, prior to the previous Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin was gaining dominance, Bitcoin was rallying, none of the altcoins were really outperforming Bitcoin, and then when the halving hits, we see that shift into high cap coins. We're talking Ethereum, we're talking Chainlink, we're talking Polkadot. And then after they've seen some pretty nice gains, people get hungry for more. People say, where can I get some more gains here? We're in the cryptocurrency space. We're in the heat of the bull market. I feel like a profitable investor because I managed to buy Bitcoin during the bear market. Let's go even more risky. So then they move into the mid-cap coins, and eventually we try and get all of the money out of the markets and go into those low-cap coins there as well. So that's how the market cycle typically works. Obviously, there are different tokens that can just explode at any point in time. There's little sectors within the markets that will just explode at any point in time. We saw that with meme coins just a couple of months ago, but that's the typical trend in the markets to be watching out for. Bitcoin dominance chart is really important, and also the Ethereum BTC chart. We will be looking at this more and more as time passes, because you can see here how things change after Bitcoin halvings here. You can see Bitcoin was outperforming Ethereum for a long period of time, prior to the second halving, and then we saw Ethereum, and Ethereum leads the way for the rest of the altcoins as well, start to have that move to the upside. Now we've seen that crash from the cryptocurrency bear market, where Bitcoin was actually outperforming Ethereum and the altcoins, because Bitcoin is typically seen as a less risky asset. And then we've started to see that rally in Ethereum over Bitcoin in the previous halving, after the previous halving, and now we're starting to see that slight fall down again. But as always, I'm expecting to see the volatility and the changes in these charts become less and less and less. We're not going to continue to see Ethereum down at 0.00156 all the way up to 0.158 continuously for every bull market. We would be making a lot of gains if that was happening. What's going to happen here is the amount of volatility is slowly going to decline. And as I keep saying here, Bitcoin's not going to have these huge bull markets forever. Cryptocurrency's not going to have these huge bull markets forever. We are going to see that volatility start to wind down, and we're really going to see it find its fair market value. I believe there are maybe 1 or 2 more big bull markets here before we start to see Bitcoin really achieve its fair market value. And at that point in time, yes, there'll be volatility in the markets, but it will be on a much smaller scale, and the industry will no longer be seen as new, and we won't see those big gains that we have seen within the last couple of years. Let's see what's going on here. Lee Scully says, what are your thoughts on GLMR? Jess, honest opinion, please. I have 6k in fiat ready to buy some coins, but I just don't know. I buy more DOT and GLMR or something else. Now, I can't give financial advice. I know Jordan did a live stream a couple of hours ago, and he talks more about altcoins than I do. I have been a fan of DOT for a long time. I think the exclusivity for projects to launch on the network is a slight problem for DOT and a slight problem for its growth. However, I am a fan of Polkadot. We can also take a look on the Crypto Saving Expert website at GLMR Glamour. Let's take a look at that Moonbeam here. We've got it here. Let's see where we're at. We're at a low. We're at a considerable low. I remember all the expectation and hype around this just a couple of years ago, and now we are considerably low here. But that is the same to be said about all of the many of the altcoins in the markets right now. So it's not easy to really determine which altcoins are going to survive here. I would say it's very important to remember that during a bull market, new projects that we've never heard of before will come and shock us all. I like to keep some capital ready for that scenario. Because we never know when they're going to come, and they can come and take over the space. We saw that with Solana last year. Solana came up, got into the top 10 cryptocurrencies, and has managed to hold that position throughout the FUD. And what we are also seeing here is we could see that happen again. PG says, Jess, are you holding any stables, or do you just leave everything in Bitcoin when you have new money to inject? I don't hold anything in stables. What's in my cryptocurrency portfolio is in Bitcoin. Stable coins, I think I'd prefer to hold Bitcoin. They have some risk involved in them. Obviously, Bitcoin does as well. I believe in Bitcoin for the long term. We all saw what happened with UST. UST burnt a lot of us in the cryptocurrency space, and I know that I knew that was an algorithmic stablecoin, in USDT and USDC are seen as safer options, but I personally just prefer to hold Bitcoin. We're at points in the markets right now. Obviously, nothing here is financial advice. This is all just to do with my portfolio. What I do with my portfolio should not be replicated by you or give you any indication of what you should do with your own portfolio. You should make your own decisions. But during this period of time, any money that I've had available, I've put into Bitcoin. We have seen a huge drop since the previous bull market. I work in this space 24/7. Every single day I'm here researching the cryptocurrency space. It would be a bit strange if I wasn't investing anything I could into the markets. I've learnt from the previous bull market. I had a horrific loss in the previous bull market. I'll tell you my cryptocurrency story right from the beginning. I got into crypto around here. So I got into crypto when COVID hit, because I was looking for a job. I couldn't find any jobs that I wanted, and I thought, I'll just go into crypto instead. So I first invested, well, that wasn't actually my first investment, so let's get this right. My first investment was around a year prior to that. So we're looking at around, I don't think it was that low. It was around this point here, but it wasn't into Bitcoin. It was into Cardano. And then I kind of ignored my investment for 1 year, didn't really do anything. And then here I said, I'm going to take this seriously. The pandemic has hit. I need to do something. I'm going to learn how to trade, learn how to invest, make a YouTube channel and see what comes of it. So I did, and I got to see this huge rise to the upside. Obviously, at this point in time here, I had never made any money before in the financial markets apart from this one trade that I had. So I was trading, investing, leveraging to extremes this entire run to the upside, thinking I was a financial expert, a huge amount of leverage on the majority of my portfolio. This crash hit, and I unfortunately saw the loss of the majority of my portfolio. So my camera has just died. Give me a second. Let me put this on watch, and then we will come back. Right, we should be back in action. Sorry for that problem. Let's get back to what we were discussing here. So what happened was, I thought I was a brilliant trader this entire way up, and I learned a huge amount of information about the space at this point in time. I was getting into pre-sales, I was finding new projects, I was researching altcoins, doing lots of good investments, making a huge amount of good decisions, but then getting far too greedy for my own good, thinking I can just leave everything on a 3x leverage and just let it ride and ride and ride. My portfolio was going up and up and up by the day. It was a brilliant time at these points here, and then this crash hit and my portfolio basically got wiped out. So I learned from that mistake. Lisa just made my first leverage trade yesterday after 6 years in crypto, lol. That is the best way to go about it. I came into the markets full time here, and I thought I could just immediately go into leverage trading. And yes, I made a lot, and yes, I learned a lot, but yes, I did tragically lose it all very, very quickly. So that was the mistake that I've learned from in the previous bull market. During this period of time, I didn't really have that many funds to go back into the markets. So during this period, I've just been accumulating what I can on the sidelines, because I lost the majority of my money here. So I didn't have a huge amount to lose at this point in time. So the bear market really wasn't as painful for me as it has been for a lot of other people. Then I've obviously been working hard at this point in time, making any money I can. And then I hit accumulation, where I've just been investing that money in this period of time here. This is why I always say my portfolio is obviously not the size of everyone else that's on Cryptocurrency YouTube, but maybe that makes my content a little bit more relatable. So what we've got here is, at this point in time, I just started accumulating as much as I can. Here, I'm still accumulating as much as I can, and here I will still be accumulating as much as I can, because this is another opportunity that we're seeing, and I've learned from all of those mistakes that I made in this point in time, and I vow that I will never make those mistakes again. So Lee, good luck in your leverage trading. It is a journey. Just be incredibly careful. It is a very risky tool, but it can be a very profitable tool as well, and it can be good fun. So let's take a look anyway what's going on with the cryptocurrency news. We've not even gotten to the news yet today. Let's see what's going on here. First of all, we have institutional adoption could push Bitcoin to $125,000 by December 2024, according to Matrixport. So, Bitcoin's bull market officially began in June 2023, according to this Matrixport, and institutional demand and adoption could propel its value to $125,000 $100,000 by December 2024. So that is exactly what we would like to see. We can see here, is this how the fifth bull market will unfold? A lot of people forget in the markets that we do see big pullbacks when it is in a bull market. Just because Bitcoin is potentially in a bull market now doesn't mean we aren't going to be subject to big pullbacks and big losses. What we saw in the previous bull market was a clear example, and this was something that a lot of people struggled to understand here. For example, this one here. Bitcoin traded all the way up to $42,000, crashed 31% to under $29,000, and then continued to rally. And that's not the first time that happened. We saw it again down here. Bitcoin crashed from $12,500 to $9,800, down at 20%. We've also got what happened in March 2020 that caused a drop, but you can see this in every bull market. Let's take a look at the one from 2017-2018. There's a crash here where Bitcoin jumped from $7,800 down 30% to $5,300. This happens every single time, and this is why we say, yes, it may be a bull market. Yes, we may have some really bullish predictions for the next Bitcoin bull market, but it's still nice to be taking profits, because if Bitcoin drops 30 to 40% and you've been taking profits along the way, you can decide whether you want to jump back in and buy the dip when you can. When we see drops in the markets during a bull market, it's it feels strange because you're used to that up only mentality, but it's a huge opportunity for those that wish they had got in more earlier. Let's see what's going on here. Dylan says, yeah, if you're going to leverage, take profits on the way up. 100% take profits the whole way on leverage. I personally believe that leverage is only for shorter time frame trades. If you're day trading, if you're trading over a couple of days, like 2 days, yeah, leverage can be a brilliant tool. Just don't let it sit there for ages like I did. I had a margin trade on my Binance account last bull market. Just let it ride all the way up. It was between 2 and 3%. And then it just got absolutely liquidated. And one night I had everything, and the next morning I had nothing. So don't make the same mistakes I did. That's why we're all here, though, to learn from each other's mistakes. And I'm pretty sure that if you talk to anybody in the cryptocurrency space that has made it at this point in time, we've all had a big loss at some point on the way. So if you have had a big loss and you're not sure what to do, just remember that, because that's the information that pulled me through. I think I needed to learn. I think my ego was too big. I thought I was a professional trader at this point in time, but anyone can be a professional trader when the market looks a bit like that. Anyway, let's get on to the cryptocurrency news here and see what's going on. We are now 22 minutes in today's stream and we've not started the news, but I don't think we've got too much to discuss here. The Magnificent Seven hit sticky patch while crypto flourishes, so tech stocks take a tumble in the US as crypto sees green week. We've got ex-Ripple CTO offered Lifeline to regain access to 7,000 Bitcoin, so they've been offered a last chance lifeline to save his Bitcoins. The CTO stored his stack of Bitcoins on an Iron Key hard drive containing approximately $244 million in Bitcoin. However, down to his last two chances to accurately input the password, Uniciphered may have just handed Thomas the olive branch to save his fortune. What else have we got here in the cryptocurrency news? Vitalik Buterin invests in Nocturne Labs, a protocol aiming to bring privacy to Ethereum. So Vitalik is really pushing for the future of Ethereum, particularly since that Ethereum merge. We have seen a shift here. He's been a lot more public, I think, about the problems that the Ethereum is facing. It's facing some centralization problems and some staking problems, and he's been very public with that and really trying to fix those problems, creating big public roadmaps on how we can combat those issues. What else have we got here? Polygon team launches Pol token on Ethereum. So the Pol token has gone live on Ethereum, paving the way for it to replace Matic. On Wednesday, Pol token has gone live on the Ethereum mainnet. What else have we got here? We've got stories talking about SBF and FTX. The views have just jumped massively, so thank you very much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We've finally got past all of my waffle and we're on to the cryptocurrency news here. Let's see what Rick Meister says. Hi Jess, I'm so glad I made it to the live stream. Thank you for your insights. I didn't miss any of your videos. Thank you very much for watching every day. I very much appreciate it. And as always, I really enjoy to see the same names in the live chat every single day. And to have an active live chat makes streaming so much easier. I've done so many live streams where there's just nobody in the live chat because that's how you begin. That's how you build a YouTube channel. And now to have an active chat every single day just makes it so much easier. And we are having a co-host here on the channel very, very soon. So make sure to stay tuned and be active in the live chat when he joins us here as well. Within the next couple of weeks, we'll be hosting the stream together, and then he will be hosting some streams solo in the future. Take a little bit of pressure off me. So stay tuned for that, and make sure to hit the bell notification button so you know when that is happening. And you can meet someone else from the Crypto Saving Expert team. What have we got here in the news today, though? SBF to testify in court case. So Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyer has declared that he will testify in court. According to reports, SBF will testify in court as he seeks to defend himself in the criminal case against him. This trial has been going on for 4 weeks now, 5 weeks. We seem to have moved on from this. We've all forgotten about it. The first couple of weeks, yeah, it was interesting. We heard Caroline Ellison say that SBF wanted to be president of the United States. We heard some more of the disgusting things that were happening behind closed doors in FTX, and now we've kind of all lost focus on it because we've got more exciting things going on in the cryptocurrency space, like the Bitcoin ETFs. We will talk about those in just a second. Let's talk about this last article here, though. FTX is in talks with 3 bidders to buy or help restart the exchange. So these bidders are looking to either buy out the exchange or partner with the exchange to bring it back to life. So big changes coming here. Now if FTX goes live, that means that the users that held tokens on their accounts would be able to withdraw those tokens. That would be a massive win there. The future of the exchange would be uncertain. I think it needs a brand change, a rebrand, and they really need some big partnerships to make that a success once again. It will be very interesting to see the future of FTX. What happened with FTX did make the mainstream media. A lot of people that don't even know what crypto is know that FTX was a scam. So it would be very, very hard to bring that back to life, especially trying to depend on a new wave of adoption of the cryptocurrency space, because too many people know what happened in 2022. But we'll see how they perform. Obviously, they will have professionals in there, people that have done this kind of thing multiple times. So we'll see how successful they are with that. Let's take a look now at the price of Bitcoin and see what's going on here. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. What we have got here is a couple of levels of previous resistance, which I would like to be seeing used as a support. As we discussed in yesterday's live stream, seeing previous levels of support of resistance act as a support is crucial at this point in time, because we've seen this really strong move to the upside, and we don't want to see this formation where we go upwards, sideways, and back down again. What we want to see is continuous use of previous levels of resistance as supports to give us that strength in the scenario that we do have to see a little bit of bearish movement. Now, what we've got here is $32,500 to $31,800. This has been used as a level of resistance during this period of time back in May last year and in July this year. So we are seeing a little bit of bearish movements here. If we go to the 1 hour chart, you can see a little bit clearer there. We are also seeing, let me pull up a chart here, Fear and Greed Index, which was the headline of today's stream. You can see the Fear and Greed Index is all the way up at 71. Now, if we take a look at the last year here, you can see 71 is the highest we've seen, and 72 yesterday is the highest we've seen in the last year. If we go to the maximum, we haven't been at these levels since back in November 2021 on the Fear and Greed Index. Now, greedy signals on the Fear and Greed Index definitely make me feel a little bit more fearful. You should do the opposite of the market's mentality. When everyone is fearful, I like to be greedy, and when everybody is greedy, I like to be fearful. Right now, we are all in this kind of chase to try and front run the Bitcoin ETFs. What we're seeing here is a lot of excitement around the spot Bitcoin ETFs and a lot of excitement about how high the price of Bitcoin could go if these ETFs get accepted. And it does feel like we are getting closer and closer to their acceptance. Some people even believe we could see acceptance within the next week. I like to give a little bit of a broad time frame. I'm seeing January as the date in which we see these ETFs being accepted, but any sooner would be fantastic. And with that news, with that excitement, we are seeing a lot of people trying to front run that and get into their positions ahead of that news announcement, because realistically it could be any day now. So that's what's happening there. It could also be any day that they get rejected though, so we do need to be aware of that. Bitcoin is moving down pretty quickly here, so maybe it's time. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. What we can see here on the 1 hour chart is, if we zoom in here, you can see we have a subtle level of support there at $33,650. Only on the 1 hour chart though. If we go into the half hour chart, you can see it's been used a couple of times. Hopefully it can be used again and we see a strong bounce there. In terms of the 1 hour chart, yes, it's been used there. It's been wicked there a couple of times as well. So we would really like to see a bounce to that $33,650 level. If we don't see it, maybe we are coming down to retest these other previous levels, $32,450 and maybe even $31,840. But I really don't see that happening. I'm expecting if we don't get a bounce here, we get a bounce here. But we will keep a close eye on that. It is only Thursday, so we've got another live stream to go this week. We'll do a live stream tomorrow morning. Hopefully we wake up and we're still in that $33,000 range. But you never know with Bitcoin at this point in time. Hopefully we wake up actually and we're at $50,000. That would be incredibly nice to see. I'm keeping my phone alerts on 24/7 at this point in time, because when that spot Bitcoin ETF gets announced, things will change drastically very quickly. So I'm very much excited for that. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Does anybody have any questions in the chat here? PG says, are you waiting for any price level before adding more fiat to Bitcoin? At this point in time, I am pretty much in the position that I'm happy to be in. I am only adding small amounts at this point in time because I've been accumulating for the last year, essentially. So we are at this point in which, yes, I want to be buying more. Yes, I'm still not comfortable that I'm completely in my position, but I hate to buy on green. I do hate to buy on green. So seeing these kind of candles make me feel a little bit better. Buying at 33,600 is much better than buying at 34,800 in my opinion. But at the same time, I wouldn't really care. If Bitcoin goes to $100,000, and am I going to care if I bought 35 or 34? Probably not. I don't have a specific Bitcoin price that I'm trying to buy in at. I tend to do things differently when it comes to my long-term investments and my trading. So with my trading, yes, I would be very specific on when I could enter the trade and when I could exit the trade. But when it comes to my portfolio, if it's a red candle, it seems like a nice price, a price that I'd be happy with in a year's time. I just go for it. Because when it comes to my long-term portfolio, I want to be in that position no matter what, and I don't want to get that FOMO if we see a big green candle the day after. I want to be in that position. So when I've got the fiat available, that's when I'll be doing it. That's how I do my own portfolio anyway. Some people may do it a little bit more strategically than that, but I'm very happy with how that's working out for me so far. But that's all we have for today's stream. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I hope you have enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. That is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all back here